Okay, well, I'm pleased to have Dr. Shawn Murray here, who's one of our two candidates for ISSA International President. Shawn, welcome, and I'm glad you could be here with us.
Hey, thanks, Mark. Want to say thank you to you as Executive Director for all the things that you do for our association. Happy to be here with you today.
Thanks, Shawn. Why don't you spend a minute or two introducing yourself?
Well, as Mark mentioned, my name is Shawn Murray. I am from the Colorado Springs chapter out here in Colorado. We've been dealing with a lot of rain lately, but a lot of great things happening out in the Colorado area, where about 10% of our global membership is spread over 4 chapters. I'm also an associate member of the Northern Colorado chapter, the Chicago chapter, the Belgian startup chapter, that I helped establish with some folks over there, the UK and the Poland chapters as well. I've served on my chapter board and advised other chapters on various topics to stay engaged with our members, find out what's going on across the globe, for say, and we're doing lots of great things that are out there. So I really enjoy collaborating with all of those folks. I was elected to the international board back in 2016 as a director, and now I'm currently serving as the association's Chief Information Security the Chief Operations Officer. I've worked in the IT and information security, privacy and governance industries for over 25 years in federal government, local government, and within industry. As far as board experience, you know, as challenges have come about over the decades, I've managed to get involved in my community and gain extensive board experience, having served in my community on the Workforce Center board, most recently during the pandemic, trying to solve workforce issues associated with our industry and others, where I got some insight as to how workforce centers and the Department of Labor works, as well as other areas of the globe during the pandemic. I was acting chair for the Women's Chamber of Commerce here in my local community, the chair of the school board for the Department of Defense school system in Germany several years ago when we were stationed with the military over there. And I'm also a member of and have served on the board of directors for the Colorado Springs World Affairs Council, where I get to interface with world leaders to advise and collaborate on complex information security issues. I've also been able to collaborate with U.S. congressional leaders to advise on similar privacy and cybersecurity issues, as well as worked with the Colorado Attorney General's office on similar legislative matters. As your association Chief Operations Officer, I work with Mark, our Executive Director, and the management team on many different aspects associated with running your association. I serve on several different committees and working groups to include financial working group, the apprenticeship, internship, and mentorship committees, and several other committees that help our association in various ways that benefit our membership overall. I want to serve the association as the next president because I think we need effective leadership to help the board take the association to the next level.
Thank you, Shawn. Tell us a little bit about your vision for the future of ISSA International.
You know, to be truly a global organization, I think we really have to focus on growing chapters and membership outside of the United States. An example is some collaboration we've got with other board members that share similar vision. Laura Harder, for example, our Northern Colorado chapter president, who recently joined our board of directors for the association, has a strong focus on Central and South America initiatives in translating some of the English content that we have at ISSA International into Spanish. I'm focused on European and Asian chapter growth. I was just recently in Poland at a European chapter leader summit where I got to collaborate with a lot of European chapter leaders and understand things that they're doing that are much more unique than the approach that we have here in the United States. I've managed to be able to collaborate with other members, chapter leaders and fellow board members, and many of us share a vision to reestablish ISSA as a top influential organization that recognizes the information security and cybersecurity profession truly at a global level. And so I think we can achieve that. One of the other priorities that I envision is the role of the president and other officers, as well as directors, being better defined for our association, so the board is truly strategic in nature. Currently, I think we spend way too much time in the weeds discussing minute details when I think we should be focusing on what we can do for our members and our industry overall. How do we achieve that? I think a better collaboration with chapters and members to see what they're doing, provide a method to collaborate better between chapters and share resources. We just recently finished up our global chapter leader summit in Denver last week, where lots of chapter leaders shared some best practices that even we here up at International can learn from.
Excellent. So tell us, what's the most important thing to improve for ISSA should you become president?
So as president, I think the board needs to get out of the way of the management team and focus on the strategic direction of the association. If we can stop getting into the weeds and take a look at what our industry is doing, get involved with other organizations, collaborate at that level with relevant partners, again, outside of the association, I think we'll be more relevant. We'll be sought after for our expertise and our influence. We can't do that if we're not visible. So we've got to be visible, we've got to be more strategic, and we've got to be able to partner with other organizations. Our members and our chapters are doing great things. I mentioned that earlier. So we need to recognize them. We need to demonstrate the value if we're going to get their buy-in. And you have to talk to the members. You have to talk to chapter leaders. And you have to listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Listen to what they have to say. If there's a perception that we're not doing something, then we need to own it and make things better. Those are the things I think that we should focus on the most to make sure that our members hear us, understand what we're doing, get that value that they're seeking, and allow our industry to recognize ISSA International as a force to be reckoned with, as an industry influencer, as an industry leader. And that'll help our membership, that'll help our membership growth, and it'll help our industry overall.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Murray, for joining us today, and good luck in the election.
Thanks, everybody. Make sure you vote.
Bye-bye.